Shane Van Gisbergen spun out twice at Phoenix. He got knocked a lap down, and he still finished 11th. Even the people who cover NASCAR for a living had no idea how he pulled it off. That is where SVG is right now in 2026. He is doing things that are making the whole NASCAR world stop and stare. And it is not just on road courses anymore. The guy is getting better on ovals too, and drivers, insiders, and even his own teammates are starting to notice in a big way. Let's start at Phoenix, because that race tells you everything you need to know about Shane Van Gisbergen right now. SVG started 18th. He was moving through the field, looking strong, almost cracking the top 10 in the second stage. Then, on lap 95, everything fell apart. He got caught up in a tire failure incident and dropped a full lap behind the leaders. He didn't even get the free pass back until lap 159. Then more trouble. He spun out. Not once, but twice. In front of the entire press box. Jeff Gluck, one of the most respected journalists in NASCAR, was sitting right there watching it happen. He said, "Today, twice he wrecks right in front of me. Spins out, I see a bunch of smoke. I'm like, who's that? I'm looking down from the press box. Oh geez, SVG. Shoot. Well, that's not good for him." Gluck figured the critics were about to come out swinging. He even joked that people were going to say, blah blah blah, you always excuse SVG and he can't drive on ovals. But then something happened that nobody saw coming. SVG drove back through the field and finished 11th. Gluck was stunned. He said on his podcast, he comes back to finish 11th somehow. I have no idea how that happened. I literally have no idea how that happened. SVG himself put it simply on social media after the race. He said, P11 is a great result for the crazy day we had. The 97 had a lot of speed, had 2 spins, and passed a lot of cars for a good points day. That is what makes this so wild. After 4 races in the 2026 season, SVG is sitting 5th in the Cup Series standings. That is a career high, and it is not because he got lucky. He earned it. Jordan Bianchi, another well-known NASCAR insider, said that drivers around the garage are paying attention. His exact words were, "You talk to other drivers, and they are in awe of his ability because they know how good he is." Yes, it's road courses versus all ovals, but if he puts in the time and the work, and they see this, it's transferable to some degree. He's doing it, man. He is getting better and better. That kind of talk from inside the garage means a lot. These are drivers and insiders who have watched a lot of people try to make it in NASCAR. They do not say that about just anyone. Now let's talk about Bubba Wallace, because he had some interesting things to say about SVG too. Wallace races for 2311 Racing, and he and SVG had a real battle at the start of the Phoenix race. Wallace first gave a funny answer when asked about SVG's recent form. He said, "Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Classic Bubba." But then he got serious. He said he went to dinner with IndyCar driver Scott McLaughlin, and he told McLaughlin at the table that SVG will win on an oval soon. He said, "He's good. He's really, really good. I have a lot of confidence in him, and it shows." He also could not help adding one more dig. He said that at Phoenix he passed SVG on the outside like he was a rookie and called it pretty cool. So respect, but with a little edge. That is racing. When SVG heard what Wallace said about him winning an oval soon, he was honest about it. He did not get overconfident. He said, "I'm a long way from that. I need luck to get that, and I don't want to win like that." But then he said something that really stands out. He said, "I certainly feel and can see it now. I know every week I'm learning things, and I feel big improvements every week still, and know what's going on now, rather than just being a deer in the headlights. That is a massive shift." Last year, SVG was just trying to survive on ovals. Now he actually understands what is happening around him and knows how to respond. He also talked about where the team sits most weekends. He said, "I feel like we're 8th to 15th most weeks, which probably doesn't sound like a lot, but we started tracks running 30th, so it's been a huge improvement. A year ago, it took SVG 31 races to get his first oval top 10. This year, he did it in just 2 races. That gap is enormous." Now here is the part that NASCAR fans and the wider motorsports world cannot stop talking about. Even with all this oval progress, SVG is still an absolute monster on road courses. Just a couple of weeks ago, at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, SVG won Saturday's O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. That was his 5th career win in that series, and his very first win at COTA after struggling there before. He even admitted before Sunday's Cup race that his car was not at its best. He said, "I like the place. I just haven't managed to put a full race together." Well, he finally did it on Saturday. Then on Sunday, in the Cup race, SVG started 13th, which was actually his worst starting spot in 12 road course appearances. But he did what SVG does. He was in 6th place by just lap 7. He charged all the way to 2nd place, gaining 11 spots in the standings and collecting 48 points on the day, trailing only race winner Tyler Reddick in points scored. He came just 3.944 seconds short of tying Jeff Gordon's record of 6 consecutive road course wins in Cup history. His 5-race win streak ended there, but 2nd place at a track where he had never done well is still a serious statement. The road course numbers from his first full season tell the whole story. SVG led 52% of all laps on road courses in 2025 and ran inside the top 5 positions 85% of the time. He won the final 5 road course races of the season. 3 of those wins had the biggest margins of victory on a road course since 1996. Nobody in NASCAR was even close to him. But back at COTA this year, one of the best moments of the weekend came in the O'Reilly Series race on Saturday, and it involved a 17-year-old kid named Brent Cruz. NASCAR had just lowered its age limit at the end of last season to allow 17-year-olds to race. Cruz was one of the first to take advantage of that change. On the lap 24 restart in Stage 2, Cruz drove deep into Turn 1 and passed both SVG and 19-year-old Connor Zilisch to take the lead. He became the youngest driver to ever lead a lap in a NASCAR O'Reilly Series race. He held the lead for 5 laps before eventually coming back to a top 10 finish. SVG was genuinely blown away. He even had to ask which car Cruz was driving. Then he said, "At the start, he was driving like crazy. I couldn't drive like that. I'd be worn out in 2 laps." He said he saw Cruz doing burnouts early and figured it would not last, but he was full of nothing but respect. He said, "He looks like he's an amazing talent, and I'm sure he'd be really good in not much time. It's fun to race him, but I kind of knew it was going to not last long." That moment also involved some fun between SVG and his young Trackhouse teammate Connor Zilisch. After the race, SVG was asked about the deuces hand sign he threw to other drivers when he moved into the lead for good. He laughed and said, "Connor and I were having fun. He was telling me which number his car was a couple of times, which is nice. It was nice of those guys to let me through on the inside. So I was just waving." These two are clearly enjoying racing together, and based on what the whole field has seen, that combination is only going to get more dangerous as the season goes on. SVG heads to Las Vegas next, qualifying 16th, with teammates Ross Chastain in 17th and Zilisch in 25th. Las Vegas is a place where SVG previously ran all the way to a top 10 in the fall before a late race crash ended his day. The oval tests keep coming. And based on everything we have seen in 2026, the garage better stop underestimating him.